This video is on filing of updated income tax return. Updated income tax return or ITR U has been introduced as a new scheme in Union Budget 2022, which permits all taxpayers to file an updated return within 24 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. New provision allows the taxpayers to update or file their income tax returns on payment of additional taxes in case of errors or omissions. The provisions of updated ITR are available in Section 139, subsection 8A, read with Section 140B of the Income Tax Act. The scheme has been introduced with the object of providing an opportunity for voluntary compliance to the taxpayers so that they may rectify their errors or omissions and thereby reduce litigation. Taxpayers can now file their updated ITRs for assessment year 2021 and subsequent assessment years. Updated ITR can be filed by any person whether or not an original, revised or belated return has been furnished under Section 139 for such assessment year. It can be filed firstly if the return was previously not filed. However, if the return was filed but the income was not reported correctly or any wrong head of income was chosen, or in order to reduce carry forward losses or unabsorbed depreciation or tax credit under Section 115JB or 115JC, you may file an updated ITR. Updated ITR can also be filed when the rate of tax was not correct in the previous ITR. However, updated ITR cannot be filed if such return is a nil return or a return of loss, or if it has the effect of decreasing the total tax liability determined on the basis of return furnished for the relevant assessment year. Similarly, ITR U cannot be filed if it results in refund or increases the refund due on the basis of return furnished for the relevant assessment year. A taxpayer can also not file an updated ITR in case a search or seizure operation or in case where any prosecution proceedings have been initiated. While filing ITR U, a taxpayer is also required to pay additional taxes. A taxpayer will be required to pay an additional tax of 25% of the aggregate of tax and interest due if the updated ITR is filed within 12 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. This additional amount of 25% of aggregate of tax and interest due is increased to 50% if ITR U is filed after 12 months but before 24 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. Therefore, the taxpayers looking to update their returns for financial year 2019-20 will be required to pay tax due and interest along with an additional of 50% of such tax and interest. For those looking to file an updated ITR for financial year 2021, the additional amount will be 25% of tax payable and interest due. In order to file an ITR U on the e-filing portal, a taxpayer is required to be registered on the e-filing portal. Let us now look at step by step how do we file ITR U. The first step will be to download the ITR U Excel utility, fill it and generate the JSON file. At the second step, we would be required to upload the JSON file on the e-filing portal, complete the verification and then submit the return. Let us first see the first step, how do we download the ITR U Excel utility and how do we enter the relevant details and generate the JSON file. In order to download the ITR U utility, you are required to go to the e-filing portal homepage and click on Downloads button. On the left hand side of the screen, you are required to click on Income Tax Returns. Select the relevant assessment year from the drop-down menu and then click on the relevant common offline utility and select the ITR applicable to you. After clicking on Utility Excel based, an Excel file will be downloaded in your system. Once the utility is downloaded in your system, you are required to go to the download section of your computer, click on the downloaded file and open the Excel utility in your system. You are now required to prepare the updated ITR in Excel utility, validate it and generate the JSON file. You can also import the pre-fill data in the Excel utility by clicking on Import Pre-fill. To download pre-fill data, you can follow the path, go to e-file, Income Tax Return and then go to Download Pre-fill Data. After downloading the pre-fill data, you can click on Calculate Tax. You are required to make sure that you have no taxes due before filing the updated return. Once you click on OK, you will be able to see the tax calculation. Based on the tax calculations, you are required to make the payment of taxes and add the details of the challan paid with the BSR code, date of deposit, serial number of the challan, and amount at serial number 14 of the Excel file. After having done that, you can validate the JSON. Once you've already generated the JSON file, now you're required to upload this file on the e-filing portal and then complete the verification. Now you're again required to go to the e-filing portal. Post login, go to e-file, click on income tax return and click file income tax return. Here you are required to select the assessment year. Select section 139(8)(a) updated return and filing type. You are also required to select whether you are audited under section 44(a)(b). Select the ITR type and then click on continue button. Now you are required to attach the JSON file created by you and saved in your system and then click on proceed to verification. Once the validation is successful, you can click on proceed to verification. Here you are required to select the verification method from the given options and then click on continue button. Please note that while notification number 5/2022 dated 29th July 2022 with effect from 1st August 2022, the time limit for e-verification or submission of ITR V shall be 30 days from the date of filing the return. You may select the appropriate method of verification and then submit the button. Please note that once you submit the return, you can no longer modify the details. Post submission, you will get a success message that you have successfully filed and verified your return. Now you can download the receipt for acknowledgement number of the filed return. Filing of ITR U is very easy. To know more, you can visit our website www.incometax.gov.in or contact our helpline numbers.